So they say iron sharpens iron, but they usually forget to mention that sharpening involves some sparks. And when you are married to another creative, you want to make sure that those sparks don't burn the whole house down. Welcome to day 12 of my 30 for 30 series, spending 30 minutes talking to y'all about life, creativity, the artist's journey. Today, we're going to have a special guest, my husband, Sonny Knight, a.k.a. award-winning producer, phenomenal rapper and guitar player, and he is my most frequent collaborator. So anything you hear from me, there's a very high chance that his fingerprints are on there. All right, we have been creating together for decades. People ask us, how do we survive that? So we're going to talk about it today as much as we can in 30 minutes. Y'all are going to want to see this. Before I do that, my name is Ty Scott King, Grammy-nominated poet, award-winning rapper, Billboard charting artist, best-selling author. But beyond that, I'm somebody who understands that this artist journey is not something you should do solo. And I get to do it with my husband. Let's get into it. So, ta-da! Do you want to say anything before we start?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to jump in. So, y'all know I like to have my notes. There it goes. Some guided questions. Some guided questions, comments, thoughts, whatever, to kind of help along the way. So, thank you. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the how. So, the question is, since we collab on almost everything, what's the biggest difference in our styles when we're trying to finish a project? We're going to dedicate like 20 minutes to this conversation. Because I feel like we could really dedicate hours to this conversation. So what do you think? Because we're working on something right now.
Yeah, we are.
This is real time. And so, yeah, what do you think is the biggest difference in our styles? Like first, what would you say our styles are?
Well, your style, it's kind of like a hybrid. I mean, majority of that hybrid is that you are a planner, but you also have moments where you're like, I want to record something real fast, and be like, okay. So yeah, but the majority of it is you write it down. And my style,
like I write down when we're gonna record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my style would be definitely. I have to feel inspired to be the most. That's the best way to explain it. I have to be inspired to really want to create, which means something's got to inspire me. A lot of times by listening to something or hearing something. So I think that's like, the difference with our styles. With you, it's you write it down. You go with the plan 70% of the time, but there's a 30% of the time where you'd be like, out of the blue, I want to record something.
There's a 30% chance of rain.
Yeah.
That storm's going to come through. Like, 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
So someone actually just texted me today, I'll tell you who it is, today, and asked me, said that he saw that I'm doing this 30 for 30, which is 30 minutes hanging out with y'all for 30 days in a row. And he asked me, am I batching them or am I doing them every day? And I replied to him and I said, I'm doing these every day because I'm crazy. And I want to do them every day because it helps to like get real-time information. So where I'm going with this is that 2 days ago, I said, I'm going to go to sleep early. It was like 8 o'clock, I want to say, and that's super early. I probably wasn't going to go to sleep. I was probably just going to lay down, and kind of get into the mode of going to sleep. But then I got a urgent text about a voiceover booking. So then...
And I was in the middle of trying to mix a song, like in the middle of it, trying like...
The song that we're working on.
Like we're working on. And she was like, well, you don't have to, we could do it later on or tomorrow if you are doing something. And then she came, maybe not even 5 seconds later. But the people, that would hurt my rating if I don't do it. So it's like, okay, basically you saying you made the decision for us. So I had to stop what I'm doing, and I'm the type who is like, when I'm focused, especially on something creative wise, I'm locked in on that. I'm like really locked in. So it's equivalent to like when you're writing a song that you think is really good, and someone comes in and it's like, hey, I know I'm bothering you, but let me talk to you. So yeah.
So that's the 30. Was it 30% or 20?
Well, honestly, the more I think about it,
chance
yeah,
of rain.
but that when we first got married, it was like you were 100% playing. But as my skill set increased, I learned how to record, I learned how to mix, and other things.
Well, you already knew how to record, though.
Yeah, I did, but I wasn't like really. Mm. I just recorded myself. I never recorded other people.
Yeah. Before we met,
and that was the sweet spot for me. I didn't really have to learn anything but to record myself.
Right.
Which brings up another frustrating thing is that we're in a space right now where I can't record myself. My wife has offered to record me, but it's not the same. I can't let somebody else record me because one of the things, my wife very talented, but she's not efficient in navigating through the DAW. So it'll be like I'm working and recording. So that'll be, and I don't want to put that stress on the process.
No, because you've taught me. So in the last year, I recorded myself several times when you weren't even home.
I will give you that.
And it came out good after many times of like tutorial video.
Yeah, you recorded yourself, but you don't put yourself on the track. It's stuff I have to come out.
I've been doing that lately.
You have?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, good job for you.
So I can do it.
I stand correct.
So okay, so yeah. our styles. You are more. I'm more the planner. 30% chance that I might come to you and say this has to be done right now, and then you want to be inspired.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I've got things I want to record like right now, but I'm just, as far as the headspace as well as the real space, I'm not able to do that. So it's definitely frustrating as a creative to be in that space. But the blessing is I have other creative outlets that I do. So it's like I can pick that on the back burner and not even bother me.
But you can record. So we have a home studio.
Yeah.
I use the air quotes because it's not like a typical studio that you might pay to be in. But
yeah, you can pay to be in this.
Yeah, people have paid us.
Yeah, we know.
Well, have we been together? We've been in some very big studios together, so that's what I'm comparing it to. Mm-hmm. But we can record here, babe. Trust me. I can do it. It's pressing a button, and then you do your thing, and then you come out and do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not anything towards you. It's just the fact that I'm used to like literally getting up from the computer, stepping right there to the microphone, and finish recording, and step right back, and like with arms
within arm's
reach. Yeah. Wow. So and that it's like and it's definitely a mental thing for me. But I have to, as a creative, everybody you have to be in the right mental headspace to create and to especially record something where you come off and you sound like you're confident in what you did. So it's a thing that I can't get past until we're in a space where I can record myself the way that I'm used to record myself. So
yeah, I think I've been under so many deadlines that I've applied to myself, and that if I get booked for to record a voiceover or a verse, I get paid to do that, then I don't necessarily, I won't say I do it uninspired, but I have to kind of rush the inspiration. It can't just be like, oh, whenever of time that I feel inspired, like I got to go to God and be like, I need you to inspire me real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think I also like to, for me, and I'm not saying that your excellence is not your thing. I think you care about excellence, but I think I'm more like 100% excellent, which in one of the previous videos, I did talk about Good enough, move on. I'm trying to adapt that mindset, but I'm usually the one that's like, it has to be 1,000%. Like, I don't want to hear a little crackle. It can't be off. Anything has to be perfectly aligned. And you're more like, no, if it's not perfectly aligned, that makes it more human.
I think, and that's some of the greatest projects and albums, um, in my opinion, have been uh, flawed in the sense of what, like, authenticity. I'm not talking about something like you can tell they 30 feet away from the mic or something like that, you know. But as far as if the take, they voice maybe cracked a little bit on that tape, you know,
right? Y'all see how I look, right?
Just a little bit. Sometimes that, you know, especially emotion. Yeah, that's what people connect with emotion. You don't really care if someone does a perfect take and it sounds like, but they don't have no oomph to it, no like, I felt that. It's like, nah, but that's just, you know, that's me.
That's fair.
No.
That's fair. So friction. How do we handle it when one of us wants to take a slow and steady approach? First of all, which one of us usually tries to take the slow and steady approach?
Well, I think we've already answered that question. Usually to me with the slow and steady.
Okay, all right. And so
I'll let you answer this first and then I'll answer mine.
When one of us wants to take a slow and steady approach and the other is ready to sprint to the finish line. Well, I think we do a good job of talking it through because we have a plan. So I told y'all that for every project I've ever released, I always have a plan. Usually it's a Google sheet that I set up, and every single, every album, every whatever, all of that information goes into the Google sheet, and the date is set. And so I know, okay, if the single is going to come out, let's say the single that we're working on together right now, let's say it's going to come out at the end of March, which is not the case, but let's just say it's going to come out at the end of March. Then I work backwards with the plan. And I do that with every release. So I have a plan. So I feel like in that sense, the slow and steady is already done. We got the plan. Now we know when we need to record and when it has to be mixed by. Those deadlines are set, because if you want to have a release on a certain date, then those things have to be done. Those targets have to be hit by a certain time. So I think I'm slow and steady in the planning. But when it comes to like the doing, the recording, the mixing, the mastering, like, of course I want excellence, but I try to put in enough time in the timeline where we don't have to feel like we're rushing.
Right.
But I think that's definitely been the case because we're going through so many iterations of the mix and the master, because 1,000% is what I prefer. 1,000% accuracy, as much as is humanly possible. So I don't know. I think I'm a mix of slow and steady and fast.
Yeah, because and I definitely appreciate that, because usually the projects that are successful and those that get done are the ones that have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you don't have it written down, you're not accountable. So I definitely love and like that about you, is that you do have a plan. And I think it's, I may gripe and crack jokes about it, but I know that's the best way to approach it.
What is you probably know who to attribute this quote to, because you know a lot of that type of information. Who said if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Do you know who said that?
Nah, I don't know what that's
okay.
contributing.
All right. Sorry.
But
you appreciate the plan.
Yeah, I really do appreciate the plan. It's just with me, like you said, that I'm definitely, of the slow and steady type, because I want whatever I release, just like you want it to be the best offering that you can do. And for me, when I have time to sit with certain stuff, it helps me in my process. Um, but at the same time, I mean, I haven't released a lot of projects at all.
Right.
And I think
You have
now,
a lot. You've released a whole. I was about to say anime album.
no,
What is it?
it was called Lo-Fi and Anime. It was
Yes,
a lo-fi
a
album.
lo-fi album. You've
Yeah.
released singles that have done really
Yeah.
well. We've collabed on stuff, but
Mhm.
you're slow and steady causes you to hold back so much stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you said something very important last night when the fact that like the mixing process we're going through right now, and you said that I know you know how to do this, but due to the environment we're in right now where we're living, it's very hard for me to nail the mix down because there's not a soundproof room and there's frequencies bouncing off all over the place. So it's yeah, it's very tricky for me to get the mix to what it needs to be. And I'm not lie, it's definitely frustrating. And that's why a lot of times I'll be like, when you say, hey, I want to do this song, you can mix it, and I go, ooh, inside, like, we're not, no. And people who know what mixing is, what it takes to get a solid mix, they know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not something, my wife understands, even though she doesn't understand the technical side of like the minutia or what goes into as far as putting parallel compression and masking and throwing in a master bus, a limiter on that and stuff like that, which it differs from each song. But those are things that takes time to do.
Yes, I understand and I respect the time.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's why it's like now it's like when we do produce something or we do make something from the mixing side, I mentally check out when it's like it's time to mix because I know I'm not in the situation where where I could put out a mix that I know that I could put out.
But even with all of that, and I think that's where it comes in, like how do we handle the friction? There's some friction around that because even with all the things you're saying, oh, our space is beautiful, but because of the high ceilings, it echoes and we don't have the padding and all that stuff. Even with all of that, you've mixed and mastered my last two Grammy considered albums. I have 3 Grammy considered albums. You mixed and mastered, and then Rob, I want to shout out Rob Hooper who mastered the last project. So and the singles, like y'all heard Level Up. I hope y'all heard Level Up. It's that single is doing incredible stuff. You mix and master that and all the other stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna run down my whole catalog because it's very long, and your stuff too. So even in this unideal environment, you rise into the occasion. So the friction is like, no, I know you can do it. You may not want to. You want to, but you may not feel like it's the ideal circumstances, which it's not. But you can still do it.
See what even though you're working with trash, you still can make the trash better.
You can, and it's not trash. We have a beautiful home, right? It's
I'm not saying aesthetics as far as what our home looks like, but I'm saying as far as it's not for me to actually mix and do something that's presentable and solid and be like something you've been proud of.
But you've done it. You've done it, and you've done it to a level that has been award winning, or at least award considered.
Yeah, and I try to take solace in that, but I still see the flaw in it and it's like some things, even like some of the songs that we put out. There are certain songs I like cringe at sometimes because of like, man, I could have killed this if I would have been in the right space and everything else. It's like it's like, but yeah. So
I guess y'all got to see the friction in real time.
Yeah.
So the last thing, the support. How do we give each other honest, creative feedback? Actually, it's not the last thing because we want to give some encouragement.
Okay.
But support. How do we give each other honest, creative feedback without it feeling like, I don't know, without it getting into, of course, it's all mixed. We're artists, we're married, it kind of all flows together. No 2 days look the same. for real, for real. One day it's, oh, gotta record a voiceover. The other day it's gotta record a verse. Sometimes it happens in the same day, mixing, mastering, all the things in addition to just our regular, not regular, but being married.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we give each other honest creative feedback, I guess, without it like seeping into just
You just hating.
That no, more so like, how are we artists but also still married? Because that's like a fine line. So how do you give artists feedback without it impacting the
bruising the ego
other part of, without it impacting the marriage overall? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I see what you're saying now.
Which involves not bruising egos, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me, it's different because I haven't released anything lately that you can really critique. And then the things, like, if I were to go in the past, which I would have to go to like the long past.
But we don't have to just talk about music.
Okay.
So Mike has a YouTube channel, very successful, a couple of successful YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. So it could be what you're creating with your children's YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Like when I watch it and I'm like, oh, the animation looks off there or something. Mm-hmm. How do you keep the line where it's like, okay, she's giving me constructive criticism based on this area, but I'm not going to let it influence. Like when I get off this computer and we're in 1000% marriage mode, how do I keep that from seeping in? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. For me, I'm a self-realist in the sense of I know if something is off, for example. And then if my wife were to come and say, that's off, I already knew that it was off and there's nothing I can do about it. So it'll be different if it was something that I handed you and be like, in my opinion, before, without even saying, I'd be like, this perfect. I don't say it out loud, but I was like, I know this perfect. And then I give it to you and you'd be like, and it's like, yeah. So a lot of times I already know that there's, it could be better, and so that's where I'm coming from, where I already know that it doesn't, and if you give me something that say, it's like, oh, this is awesome. I'll be like, yeah, it is. It could be a little better, that type of thing.
But you're not the type of personality to really let stuff, I don't know, you have an easygoing personality. I know stuff bothers you.
Of course.
But you're not the kind of person that like will hold on to it. You seem to be able to be like, okay, she told me to fix this and that's not right. Like when I come to you about mixes and I'm like, cause we're in this right now. We're mixing this song and I'm like, what are we on? Like the sixth mix?
Six.
And that's because I hear something. I'm like, oh, do you hear that little click right there? No. So when I come to you and I have all these changes literally every time, how does that make you feel? And how do you not take that into like, okay, now it's time to put the work away and just chill, watch a Netflix movie or something? Like, how does that not seep in and make you?
I mean, how do you keep it from early on in our marriage, it did. I just didn't say it. And I know there were times when you would come to me and you're like, well, it's time to do another album, and you would tense up because you remember how the last album was. And you feel that energy from me, and I'd be like, already?
You just said that. Actually, you said after this, the album that we released last year, Roots and Wings, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be the one to mix and master your next full album because it takes a lot to do a full album.
Yeah, and that was a mixture because it would be three years in a row. Yeah. And then, in my opinion, none of those times we were in a good space to mix. So it's like, I knew the mental bandwidth and everything else it was going to take, and that's why I act the way I did, because not for the fact of working with you, it was the fact of once when that's recorded and the real work starts, it's like it's gonna be a struggle because
Yeah.
I'm working with some stuff that I don't need to be working with.
I mean, you definitely. How do I handle it? I've definitely tried to, I guess, remember the priorities, to remember that if you tell me something, like you'll tell me go back and work on that verse again, or you need to, that
Oh yeah.
when you
Oh
recorded that, you could do that better. Yeah, I definitely have had my ego bruised more than one time, but I have to remember, first of all, that you're saying it with love. You want it. You know that if I listen back, I'll probably be like, oh, that wasn't my best. So you're telling me in advance, and I've tried to learn to appreciate it as encouragement. It's like, let's just do it better. You say you want excellence. Okay, well, let me tell you what's not excellent about this. And I've had to, suck it up. And I might act a little whatever. I don't know what the word is. When it's time to like just do other things outside of that creative space with you, but
toughen up, buttercup.
Yeah, basically, suck it up, buttercup. So I may need a little minute to unthaw, I guess, from how I felt about it, but I think it's taken some time, but I think I'm better at it. And I wouldn't say it never impacted. I wouldn't say the critique from the creative side never impacted like the just in general relationship side. I think I've learned how to process your feedback better so that I don't take it into just other areas of our relationship.
Yeah, that's good, because I'm as you probably know, I'm really big on the psychology of cadences. And I know just from being a music lover myself is that the best songs that I like are the ones that, switch up, or something happens in the speech pattern that be like, whoa, well, no, I didn't see that coming. I mean, every song doesn't have to be that, because then it gets boring. It's like we already know. But I'm saying there are certain songs that, like, I think that with you as an artist, and with a lot of artists, myself included, you get in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
So it's like, somebody you featured on something, you be like, boom, 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 I'm gonna be me. But you don't grow until you're stretched.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just, I try to, even with my own stuff, I break it down, I dissect it a lot. So,
yeah. Which goes to, when you say you don't grow until you stretch, that goes to what I talked about yesterday. Day 11? Because today's 12. Yeah. Day 11, one of the things was that you don't try to go too far outside of your comfort zone too fast, because that can cause you to quit. That you don't stay in your comfort zone. Try to go a little bit out of your comfort zone every time you do X, Y, Z, and then before you know it, you're, really out there. So thank you, Ben. So we wanted to give a little advice, so maybe 5 seconds of advice before we run out of time. 5 seconds of advice. Just a little advice before we run out of time.
Learn to talk in 5 seconds is what you need to say. Bam, there you go.
Okay, if you're a creative and you're married to a creative, you should
practice patience.
Very good. Practice patience. That's a good one. Yeah. You should also remember that your spouse, your mate, your partner is called to something too. And so respectfully remember that, and don't try to always make it about you. Like I think to myself, this is not the Ty show. I think that all the time, because I want to remember, even though people see me out front most of the time, my husband is a big part of what I do, and he has his own, like, as I said in the intro, he's award winning, like, so I can't sleep on that. All right, so y'all know I like to do I will statements. I'm going to run through them. I will value my partner's process as much as I value the final product. I will view creative friction as a tool to make the art better, not a reason to stop. I will protect my spouse's creative spark as fiercely as I protect my own. I will keep creating even when the real world tries to crowd out my art. I will remember that we are on the same team, Team King, team, whatever team your name is, even when we have a different styles of approaching the finish line. I will prioritize our relationship, or we will. These should be we will statements, actually. We will prioritize our relationship over our results. All right, so thank y'all for watching. This was day 12 of 30 for 30, 30 minutes of hanging out with y'all for 30 days. Come back tomorrow for day 13 because we doing this. All right? That was different. All right, love y'all. Peace.